than 83, or they will start to rank up those time faults. But they're looking for the fastest round with the lowest number of faults. That is what will guarantee the lion's share of the $35,000 and also that first place ribbon here in this Longines FEI World Ranking class at Live Oak International.
Can't you see, you're my delight, lady, I just feel like I won't get you out of my mind. I feel love for the first time, and I know that it's true. I can tell by the look in your eyes.
And took a top 10 across town at the Hits venue in their 3-star FEI Grand Prix in February. Just takes a little bit of a wobble before the Liverpool there. Goes down on 5 strides to the vertical at 8, ends up taking the top rail. Kyle's certainly not looking to have challenged the fastest of the times that we'll see set in this class. 30 starters going to come forward. And the last is this in and out. Heavy rub on the back rail of the A element. He's going to be inside the time. The time allowed is 83 seconds. And Kyle finishes with 74.13 on the clock and 4 faults on the jumps. So the fastest clear round, faults and time in one round of jumping, will be the deciding factor here in today's first Longines World Ranking class of the weekend at the Live Oak International. For the Netherlands, Michelle Hendricks with Staal Hendricks Eretto. Michelle was second in the Indoor Grand Prix at Amsterdam in the Netherlands in January. Jumped in the Masters show at 's-Hertogenbosch in the Netherlands last weekend as well. Former winner of the Bolesworth Grand Prix in Great Britain, Michelle represented the Netherlands at the Nations Cup finals last September and rode top-level Nations Cup shows at Rotterdam, Falsterbo in Sweden and at Dublin in Ireland. Eretto, the 9-year-old by Vanessa, Dutch warm blood. That Live Oak vertical coming down again. That line starting to make its influence felt in this world ranking class. And it's a significant step up from our first class as well. This is a meter 50 level class. The fence is up to meter 60, of course, in the World Cup qualifier come Sunday. And the double of doubles on the final line. 4 faults in 70.48 for the Dutch rider, Michelle Hendricks, and that takes over the lead at the moment. We're still awaiting our first clear round over this long track of Kelvin Bywaters here. If you're familiar with Live Oak from most years, you'll see now that we have the sand surface this year. This is a 1 year only. The beautiful turf surface here at Live Oak. The team here, Chester Webber and Juliet Reed and their committee, decided to upgrade it even further, and this sand school that you currently see will actually be the basis of a sort of a techno turf with super drainage to really allow these world-class horses to ping and jumping meter 60 in World Cup qualifiers.
But technically this is home for me with all my family living down in Ocala.
Right, so this is a big family event for you. You've got everyone involved. I understand your father and your brother are flying down from Washington, and your uncle is based here, and this is your grandmother's farm. How does it feel to be able to be a part of this event, to share it with your fellow competitors and friends, and then the public?
Yeah, this is completely a family-run horse show. It's my grandmother's property that we're very fortunate to be able to use. My uncle also lives on the property, and he's also competing here himself, as well as helping to manage it with my mother. My father has the grand role of giving tours on Saturday of the farm, so that's his role. And Harry, my little brother, we all have our small businesses and our little projects along the weekend to make it run as smoothly as possible.
Now, I heard your brother might have designed and maybe manages your website. Is that true?
He does. He's gifted in the technology department, so he has full reign over my website.
Wonderful. All right, so you also have your trainer here competing. That's Marcus Beerbaum. So he's here to help you, but he's also competing himself. How does it feel to know that you're in the same ring and you're up against your trainer, who's much older than you?
Yeah, to be able to compete with him is amazing. It can be also very beneficial for me. If he goes before me in the class or if I go before him, we can work with that and help each other in the ring. Also, when he's competing, then it kind of gives me more motivation also to do well. So it's amazing to have him here.
Okay, so we have another member of your team here with us who's stuffing his face right now. Tell us a little bit about this guy.
This is Adamo. I was very fortunate to get the ride on him starting this summer. He's owned by a group of amazing women called Team Honor USA LLC. And I mean, you can just look at him. He's so happy to be here. I think all the horses are very fortunate to be able to come here for the week and get some fresh green grass and ride in a ring that's as large as the eye can see.
Well, that's Chloe Reed. She's been riding here for a long, long time, and she's about to join us here now in the FEI Longines World Ranking Class here live over International 2018. Just 2 on so far, still looking for that first clear. Sitting at the top on 4 is Nicole Hendricks, 6 and 4 faults, and 7.4. A long way to go, though, so they're 30 forwards here. And here is Chloe, who's already had a top 20.
So next to go is Chloe Reed, who we just heard a little bit from, riding Live Oaks TNT Explosive by Tinker's Boy. First in the division for the United States of America. Chloe picked up World Cup points at Helsinki in Europe before Christmas. Has been on US Nations Cup teams at Samorin, Wellington, Sopot, and in Europe on Div 1 of FEI Nations Cup jumping at Falsterbo in Sweden. Still waiting our first clear around this track as well. "14 jumping efforts on the track. He's got 3 doubles laid out here, including a double of doubles on the final line. But it's been this line that stripped the first couple up from the Waldron down to the Live Oak. 5 strides. It still gets a hard rub, the top of that Live Oak vertical, but it stays in place. Just tricky off the turn there, didn't really finish out and wide on her turn. Of course, thinking about the time, it's faults and time over just a single round of jumping that are going to decide the results of this Longines ranking class. And Chloe Reed just tapping the first part of the double at 10. So it's 4 faults in 68.82. That's our fastest so far. It goes into the lead, but we still await our first clear. Next to go, Bolivian rider Ronaldo Roberto Daza Cardozo with Chaco Baloo by Chaco Baloo out of a Balaveda Rue mare. They're riding this 10-year-old for Santana Stables. Again, nobody has been absolutely clean over that jump. He leaves it in place, but does give it a decent tap off the 5 strides. Unfortunately, that is down. It's the first time that's down in the division, but Ronaldo Roberto Daza Cardozo for Bolivia is going to be our latest home on at least 4 faults. Still awaiting our first 0 score. He, just like Chloe Reid, has the first part of that double at 10, has the front rail off the second part as well. Just rushing down, managed to sit up and balance coming into the final double. So it's a total of 12 in 76.73. One of the highest ranked riders at the show on Longines World Rankings, Lauren Huff. Lauren with the Ocala Group's Ocala by Orlando. This Swedish warm blood mare, now 14 years old. Last year, Lauren took top 10s in the Grand Prix at Versailles, Windsor, Sopot and Bolesworth over in Europe. She's a former winner of the Washington International Horse Show World Cup qualifier. Pan Am team gold medalist, individual and team bronze at the Pan Ams in Toronto in 2015. Last year part of the winning US Nations Cup team in Dublin in Ireland, and went to the Nations Cup finals in Barcelona in September. And this is a nippy little mare. She has every chance of going clear, and she has every chance of being one of the fastest clears as well. And Lauren is having a cut at this class. Early in the draw, difficult really to judge off the first few exactly what it's going to take to win. But Lauren, through a lot of experience, knows what it takes to win. Takes the risk on the roll back to that cockerel fence. And now the double of doubles. About balancing through this corner, we've seen a few caught out there. Ocala gives it miles. Just trails the last. It's 4 faults in a very fast time. It could easily be our fastest 4 faulter all day long. 62.89 on the clock for Lauren Huff and Ocala, but it is 4 faults. Well, an informed combination this winter. Devin Ryan, Eddie Blue, VDL Girocco Blue. It's just a 9-year-old horse. Devin is the winner of the American Gold Cup, 5th at the Lexington Qualifier at the National Horse Show, 6th in the Saugerties Million, 2nd in the Devon Grand Prix, 2nd in the Ocala Nations Cup Show Grand Prix here in Florida just a month ago. Very neat land and turn. Comes back to the Longines double at the top of the ring. So tap, but stays in place. Can he get down the final line? Devin Ryan, Eddie Blue, looking for our first clear round over this track. He's not going to be as fast as Lauren Huff if he does end up having a pole, but Zero will do it. Zero will go into the lead at this stage. Zero in 66.53. It's a competitive time for Devin Ryan and Eddie Blue. And after 6 rounds of jumping, 20% of the field, Devin Ryan gives us our first clear round. Marcus Beerbaum. Marcus on course with Charmed by Checo Blue. As ever, jumping the Winter Equestrian Festival since the new year. The World and European team gold medalist. Jumped very well in last week's 5-star week at the Winter Equestrian Festival. He was top 10 in the Ocala Grand Prix, 5-star Grand Prix, and on the German Nations Cup team at that show in February. He's just set a tricky distance for them down to that live oak fence. It's just taking really neat and careful jumping to leave it in place, but still nearly every horse has laid a toe on that top rail. Just went a little bit long, flat and low down to that final double. He got away with it over the first part, but caught out at the second part. Marcus Beerbaum and Charmed. It is a 4-fault total in 72.48. That goes into 5th place. Still just the one clear. That's Devin Ryan. He leads the way. It is faults and time, so regardless of time, any clear will go in front of any 4-faulter. Horse that gets right into the base of the jumps. A little bit what he ended up doing in the final line, and it maybe cost him the last on course for those 4 faults. One for Ireland, Nicky Galligan with Java's Miss Jordan by Louis Dam out of an OBOS quality mare. This is Nicky's second international show, having jumped in Wellington this season as well. Here in the US, has ridden to the international level in eventing sport as well at home in Ireland. Just sees his stride coming out of the corner there, pushes for the Longines double. And again, the necessity here, this is just one round of jumping, faults and time over a single round. The necessity here is to be on your mettle, to be up on your pace as much as you feel comfortable with all the way around. The designer, he's against that. He wants you to have to sit up and ride some of the distances. There are other places where he'll give you the opportunity to push. final line. 4 jumping efforts, though, a double of doubles. Very neat to the final one on the 6 strides, and it's 74.88 on the clock. It is clear. It's down the order time-wise, but it's good enough for second place. It's only our second clear at the moment, but there's plenty who could potentially go in front of Nikki Galligan on that 74.88, but they still have to do it. Nikki is safely clear. Just a really nice ride there into the last. Nikki, you know, taking it steady. Of course, that gives you the time and space to make sure of the jumps. But plenty haven't come home with 0 off this course. Nikki Galligan, one of just 2 who has, alongside Devin Ryan. Paulo Sergio, Mateo Santana-Filho and Biscayo for El Salvador. Paulo's 4th here in the Live Oak World Cup qualifier last year on the Longines circuit. Just drops that early pole for 4. And again, that's just going to be the nature of pushing it a little bit. You increase the pace, you increase the risk, you flatten out the shape of the horse's jump by just pushing the envelope that little bit. So coming to this final line, still has to get through these 2 doubles without further penalty. Our fastest 4-faulter, Lauren Huff, was already home by now, 62.89. Having to really hold here to the last, but gets it. 72.22 on the clock with 4 faults. And that's down the order, that's 6th position at the moment. Our 4th fastest 4-faulter, and those 4-faulters all behind our 2 clears. Nikki Galligan in second for Ireland, Devin Ryan in the lead for the United States of America. And what a year really Devin Ryan is having when you think back to his runner-up spot in the Devon Grand Prix nearly a year ago, all the way through winning the Gold Cup. Podium finish also, the 5-star Nations Cup Grand Prix at Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup in Ocala. So Kristen van der Veen with Bull Run Jumper 6. Bull Run's Faustino de T by Berlin. Yeah, VDL stallion. Kristen, 16th on our standings at the moment, including a very good 4th place finish at Las Vegas. Top 10 at the Gold Cup as well in upstate New York. A Grand Prix winner at Tryon last summer. Kristen's twice been top 10 in the prestigious American Gold Cup competition, now part of the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping Series. But another one to pick up that early pole on course. So still just 2 clears leading the way. It's the first time that Liverpool goes down, so Kristen now on the 8-fault total. Still a lot of questions to answer on this course as well. And Kristen puts us at 1/3 of the way through the starting order of this Longines World Ranking class. Coming to the final line. Big striding horse. She just has to hold for that 6, and it gets a very nice final line here. But it is 8 faults earlier on the course for Kristen van der Veen and Bull Run's Faustino de T. And that's going to put them, with that time of 65.51, into 9th position. And watch the replay of them coming to this Equijet fence. It's the first time it's been down. The water tray just designed to draw the horse's eye down into the base. The rider's job to keep them locked in on the top rail. And actually, it doesn't look like she did a huge amount wrong. Just maybe got in a little bit close, and therefore the shape of the jump brought them up to just clip it in front. So on track now, Swiss rider Beat Manley. Beat riding Simba, former World Cup champion, taking the title back in 2007. Winner of the World Cup qualifier indoors at Washington, D.C. this year. Beat is 17th on the Eastern Sub-League of North American League World Cup jumping with 38 points, and therefore could be in with a shout as an extra athlete from the North American League for the finals in Paris in April. So 66.53 to beat. I don't think even Beat's going to get home in that kind of time. And just doesn't finish the jumping shape behind and ends up catching the vertical going into the first of those two doubles. 69.42. He's always so deceptive because he just rides in that really smooth forward fashion. He's only 3 seconds adrift of Devin Ryan's time, but with 4 faults, he goes into 5th position. Lauren Huff and Chloe Reed, both faster 4-faulters than Beat Manley.
Hi, my name is Victoria Gullikson and I'm from Norway. I'm 26 years old and this is my horse Cockroach.
Okay, Victoria, have you been to Live Oak International before?
I was here 3 years ago and I really liked it, and I came back this year because it's a lovely show and good atmosphere.
Great. Now, a lot of the riders come to Live Oak International for their last chance in the North American League to qualify for the Longines FEI World Cup Finals. This year it's in Paris, France. Is that something that was on your schedule?
I would like to go there, but I wasn't good enough this year, so I didn't get enough points. And I decided to do the last World Cup show just to get him more experience for next year and be ahead for the next season.
Thank you. Now, it looks like you guys have been out for a ride today. What's your kind of show day routine? How do you get your horse ready?
He's a very fresh horse, so I like to ride him in the morning and see how he is and feel how he's doing, and if I need to ride him long or get him calm or if he's not that fresh, and then take him out for a long walk afternoon and then get ready and warm up for the class and hopefully have a clear round.
Now, how's he feeling today?
He's feeling great today, so I hope he will feel great in the class as well. Crossing my fingers for him.
Wonderful. Now tell me, you traveled over here from Norway. You come to the United States in the winter time. Is that right?
Yeah, I came 5 years ago for the first time, and I was here 3 years on the row, and I've been home for 2 years, so this is my year back, and I really enjoy coming here because the weather is very much better here than Norway. It's very cold there, and I'm happy to be back.
Now, what made you choose Live Oak International as a show? There are a lot of other shows going on right now. Why did you decide to come here to visit us at Live Oak? Sorry.
Because I feel really welcomed when I come here. It's very good atmosphere. It's a very nice ring, and it's a nice place for the horse to be, and they feel like they're kind of home because they see all the fields and they enjoy it a lot.
Wonderful. Now tell me, obviously you're doing a lot of training. You spend a lot of time in the saddle with your horses. What kinds of other stuff do you like to do if you have any extra time?
I love to do yoga and I run a lot, so I am quite active during the day.
All right. Now, we all know that the quickest way to communicate with our trainers or our parents or our friends is by texting. If your horse was an emoji and you were sending a quick text to somebody, what emoji would this horse be?
He would be a monkey that's standing like with the arms like this, like, what should I do?
Okay, great, Victoria. Thanks and good luck today.
Thank you so so much.
So we've just heard from the Norwegian Championship rider Vicky Gulliksen, who comes forward now. We saw her father, Norwegian Olympian Geir Gulliksen, jumping in the Palm Beach Masters, Wellington, Florida leg of Longines FEI World Cup jumping. Vittorio Stahl Gullik's Papa Roach by Perigueux. It jumped the Helsinki, La Coruña and Madrid World Cup qualifiers this season in Europe. It took a Grand Prix win at Vestfold a couple of weekends ago. Vicky took a class win at the Winter Equestrian Festival this season as well. So thus far, just 2 clear rounds, Devin Ryan and Nikki Galligan, USA and Ireland. But our fastest around the course has been Lauren Huff. She unfortunately had 1 pole down, but she managed the course in 62.89. So there's the possibility of going about 4 seconds faster than Devin Ryan's current leading clear round time. See, this has been tricky here. That's the cleanest we've seen off the 5 strides. Everyone's gone on 5, but a lot have had or tapped the top rail of that live oak vertical. Real trap set on that rollback turn there over that vertical as well. For competitors, we've seen a few just take the top rail there. And again, this turn back to that first vertical going into the first part of the double of doubles has been influential so far. You can hear the tap on the first part of the double, but it is clear. It's clear in 71.91. It takes over second place and sets Vicky Gulliksen up for a nice week of jumping here at this World Cup qualifier at Live Oak in Florida. USA leads, Norway now second, and Nikki Galligan for Ireland is in third. So next forward, it's Ana Cristina Ganzauer for Ecuador. Jumped internationally this spring at the 4th week of the Winter Equestrian Festival and also the February International at the HITS venue here in Ocala, Florida. Ana Cristina been jumping in North America since 2014 and jumped throughout last summer at the Tryon venue in North Carolina, the venue for this year's World Equestrian Games. A pacey enough round. Devin Ryan 66.53 and clear. The Ocala Horse Properties goes for the first time in the division. And those 5 strides ending up taking this horse and rider combination down very close to the vertical as they take the top rail out in no uncertain terms. So on 8 faults, Just Kristen van der Veen on 8 faults. Otherwise, she holds 11th with 65.51 on the clock. So this is going to be slower than that. Seven strides to the last. Works out okay. And just inside the time allowed 83 seconds. It's 82.07 and 8 faults for Anna Cristina Ganzar. And as we suspected, taking over 12th position. Well, his brother was the winner of the Palm Beach Masters leg of the Longines World Cup Series. Daniel Coyle took a 5-star win in Florida, in Wellington, just last week as well. This is Jordan Coyle with Elan Farms Eristov. Jordan rode at the American Gold Cup meeting in September. It's his first full season riding internationally in the US. He's based at Old Salem Farm in upstate New York. He's a former winner of the Grand Prix at Mullingar in Ireland and was 5th in the Grand Prix at the 3rd week of the Winter Equestrian Festival. So 66.53, the time that's in his sights. Devin Ryan leading at the moment with one of just 3 clears so far. It just bows the line down there towards that vertical. A lot have been thinking very carefully about that vertical. It fell a lot in the early part of the class. 66 seconds to beat. I don't think he's quite going the pace to take it on, but we'd love to start his weeks jumping here with a clear round. Plenty have been caught out by the last, but not Jordan Coyle. Jordan and Eristov are clear for Ireland in 70.17 seconds. So that goes into second place. 2 of the 4 clears for Ireland, 1 for Norway, and the leader is for the United States of America. Devin Ryan clear in 66.53. Have to go back a couple of years for the last Irish winner of the World Cup here at Live Oak. That was Cian O'Connor. One of the debut results for his great championship horse, Good Luck. Paris Selin is next with us. Paris has been on winning US Nations Cup team at Sopot in Poland at the 5-star show. Top 10 in the Grand Prix at Longines Global Champions Tour Mexico this time last year. Paris with Willow Grace Farms and Nathan Detroit by Contendro. Waldron Private Wealth, Oxa, the sponsors of our opening class, the Power and Speed, very neatly over the Live Oak vertical as well, which is not necessarily travelling at full bore pace. And we saw Nicky Galligan take advantage of that earlier on to become just our 2nd clear at that point, and one of only 4 clears so far. Paris puts us 50% of the way through the starting field. unfortunately landed really deep down into the distance between the two doubles over the B element of 10, so they ended up just ending up that little bit close. Paris was working on compressing the stride, but close in to the double at 11 and ending up with those 4 faults in 71.90. So Paris Solon going into 9th position. Just watch it again as they come over the B element. Look how far down the track they've landed. Paris here now just working to compress the stride as they come down through their 4th, 5th and 6th approaching strides. But really, this close in, there wasn't a lot the horse could do but have the top of that metre 50 fence down. So, after 15 horses have jumped, we're going to take a very short break here to just set the conditions up 110% for the second half of the starting order in this Longines World Ranking class this afternoon here from the Live Oak International.
Each summer, the world's best riders embark on a quest. And while there are many ways to get there, there is only one destination.
Is he going to win the final here? Yes, he is!
Welcome to the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North American League, where the continent's premier equestrian athletes face off in a 3-nation series that takes them to North America's ultimate equestrian destinations. And it all leads up to the biggest event of the year, where one rider will emerge as champion at the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping Final, April 2018 in Paris.
late in the evening, lost on the side. I've been sad with you for most of the night, ignoring everybody here. We wish they would disappear, so maybe we could get down now. I don't wanna know if you're getting ahead of the program. I want you to be mine, lady, to hold your body close. Take another step into the no man's land for the longest time, lady. I need you, darling, come on, set the tone. If you feel you're falling, won't you let me know? Oh, if you love me, come on, get involved. Feel it rushing through you from your head to toe. Oh, this love is a blaze. I saw flames from the side of the stage, and the fire brigade comes in a couple of days. Until then, we got nothing to say and nothing to know, but something to drink and maybe something to smoke. Let it go until our roads are changed. Singing we found love in a local rave. No, I don't really know what I'm supposed to say, but I can just figure it out and hope and pray. I told her my name and said it's nice to meet you. Then she handed me a bottle of water filled with tequila. I already know she's a keeper. Just from this one small act of kindness, I'm in deep. If anybody finds out, I meant to drive home, but I don't all of it now. Not sobering up, we just sit on the couch. One thing led to another, now just kiss on my mouth. I need you, darling, come on, set the tone. If you feel you're falling, won't you let me know? Oh, if you love me, come on, get involved.
Well, we are just about to pick up the action once again here in the $35,000 Longines World Ranking class. Devin Ryan sitting at the top, and we're about to welcome Charlie Jacobs.
I'm here with Charlie Jacobs. Charlie, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from.
Good morning. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm an executive up there. I work during the week, and then I come down and compete on the weekends here in the jumpers.
So Charlie is an amateur, technically one of our amateurs riding against professionals. That only means that he spends a lot of his other time being a professional, kind of in the business world. Now, tell me a little bit about why you choose to come to Live Oak at this kind of competition.
Well, this is a beautiful show. The Reed and Weber family do a wonderful job producing this event. As a horseman, I'm grateful for them for what they've done for our sport. So it's really a treat to be here. And this also is the final leg of the East Coast League for the North American qualifying for the World Cup finals, which this year are going to be in Paris. For me, this is an important show because I'm right on the bubble. I'm tied with the last rider. I'm tied with a rider for the last spot. And, I hope to do well here so that I get the points, valuable points to pick up and hopefully advance to Paris.
Wonderful. So that's, the Longines FEI World Cup is in Paris this year, next month, only a few short weeks away.
Yeah.
So a lot of our show jumping riders are looking towards that. What about the horse you have here with you?
I brought a 12-year-old German sport horse. Her name is Ksenia S. I've had her since she was 7. I brought her up through the ranks in the meter 30, meter 40, 50s, and I took her to the World Cup finals last year in Omaha, and we were 16th overall. And I'm hoping that to improve on that if we are lucky enough to advance.
Okay, wonderful. So I think that you told me earlier that you're also a sports fan.
I'm a very, very big sports fan. You bet. Specifically hockey. I'm very involved in the sport. Sat on the NHL Board of Governors for the past 16 years or so, and I'm an executive for a sports club in Boston.
Okay, so you spend a lot of time thinking about ice, but then you're enjoying the warm weather down here in Florida.
This is, this is a retreat for me. This is my sanctuary, my time to come and focus on my horses and really, frankly, sort of just focus on me for a couple of days, and then before I go back to work I'll be flying home on Sunday and going back to work on Monday.
Okay. Thanks, Charlie, so much. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
While the stage is set, we're about to pick up the action once again. Quick reminder of our leaderboard at this stage. It is Devin Ryan out in front with Eddie Blue.
So welcome back to Ocala, Florida, where we are in the midst of this afternoon's Longines World Ranking Class 30 going to post. Thus far we've seen 15 jump and 4 have jumped clear. Devin Ryan, Jordan Coyle, Victoria Gullickson, Nikki Galligan. Lauren Huff, though, has been our fastest over the track, picking up 4 faults, but in a very fast time of 62.89 to hold 5th at present. Charlie Jacobs is coming into the ring now, Charlie, with his own CMJ Sport Horses Cassinia S by Carino. Charlie, who was second at the Gold Cup in upstate New York in the 2016 season. He has 23 points on this year's World Cup standings. He's in 15th, but a big result here could help him get to the finals in Paris. He's been 6th at Bromont, 6th at Washington, and of course the Palm Beach Masters leg at Deer Ridge in Wellington, Florida was run at the Jacobs family farm. Been a US Nations Cup rider at Falsterbo in Sweden, and a 3-time World Cup finalist, including most recently at Omaha last spring. Just one clear round so far for the United States, and it is from the man in form at the moment, Devin Ryan. He is not only clear for the US, but he is in the lead on 66.53. So getting us back underway, Charlie Jacobs and Cassinia. So tricky lines here from the Waldron Private Wealth. This live oak vertical has been proving influential early on. No problem at all, not even a hint of a tap from Cassinia. Charlie going steadily enough around this bend. There's a fairly tight roll back onto this. Remember, it's one round of jumping, faults and time, the deciding factor. Charlie, in fact, did pick up a time fault earlier on in our power and speed, and looks like he might be dallying with the time allowed of 83 seconds here as well. But looking to just get nice rounds of jumping into his horses on day one of the show. So 3 for time, 91.20 on the clock means it's clear jumping, but 3 for time for Charlie Jacobs and Cassinia. Charlie goes into 5th position behind the clears and in front of the 4 faulters for the poles down. 91.20. So now a competitor that we saw at Deer Ridge in February, Peter Jordan. Peter with Outland Farms, Igor van der Grauenberg. US rider, jumped the second week of the Winter Equestrian Festival back in January, and this time last year jumped the small tour at Longines Global Champions Tour Miami, picking up a podium finish on day one of that show on the beach. So 66.53 and clear leads the way for Devin Ryan. One of just 4 clears so far, 1 for the US, 1 for Norway and 2 for Ireland inside that top 4 of clears. So clear over the Equijet, turning to this line. Waldron Private Wealth, 5 strides then to the Live Oak Vertical. They've just got the measure of that now, having watched the early rounds. This trails behind across that Cockerel Vertical, but in place. Have to really balance the horses over that corner to be sure of this double of doubles. It's not going to be super fast, and unfortunately it's with 4 faults as well. Peter Jordan and Igor van der Grauerberg in 4 faults in 76.56, so that's well down the order, 14th position. Next to go, Katie Dynan with Grant Road partners Dougie Douglas. The Irish sport horse by VDL sire. Douglas out of a high roller mare. Katie was 5th in the Washington World Cup qualifier in DC. US team in the Nations Cup finals in 2014. Winning team in the Nations Cup at Dublin that year as well. Katie, still a young rider, has been a 4-time World Cup finalist already in her career. Well, the first time part of the Longines double has gone down, 4A on the ground for Katie Dynan. And if you want to be competitive, that leaves a really big mountain to climb, because Lauren Huff is our fastest 4-faulter on what is far and away our fastest time of the class, 62.89, with her good 5-star horse, Oh La La. So it's an 8-fault round in 78.31 in the final analysis for Dougie Douglas and Katie Dynan. So that goes into 16th position. 18 have jumped, just 4 clears so far. Devin Ryan leads the way.
Hi, I'm Alma. I'm 24. I'm originally from Sweden, but my family moved here about 5 years ago. I'm based in Wellington, Florida.
Now, Alma, I've heard that this is your first year at Live Oak International. Tell me what made you decide to come and visit us here.
Yeah, so this is my first year. I'd heard really, really good things about the horse show. Got up here, and it's obviously beautiful and has like a bit of a European feel, which I really love with it being a 3-day horse show. And so it definitely lived up to all my expectations. Really excited.
Now, how many horses do you have here? Tell us a little bit about the horses that you brought with you.
I have 2 horses here. The one horse I've had for quite a while. He's great. He's a little bit spooky, but hopefully he'll be good up here. And then I have one of my brother's horses, who I haven't ridden for that long, but I'm really excited about her. So hopefully it'll be a good weekend.
So your family is involved in horses, is that correct?
Yes. So my mom rode, or actually still rides. She does dressage. My dad used to ride, but now he kind of works a lot, so he goes back and forth between here and Europe. And my brother used to ride as well, so we were all kind of in it a little bit.
And you're a college student, so you are balancing, trying your best to balance being a student and being a big-time international show jumper rider. How does that work for you?
I mean, it definitely requires a little bit of planning. It's not always easy, but I have a really good team behind me supporting me and trying to make it all work out for me as good as possible. So I think it works out surprisingly well, actually.
So you are a senior at the University of Miami. What are you studying?
I'm studying political science, minoring in marketing.
Oh, okay, great. Now, everyone that has been here before knows that we throw a great competitors party on Saturday night. Now, tell me, this year the theme is St. Patrick's Day. Did you come prepared with a costume?
I did not come prepared, but I've heard great things, and there's actually a little party city right next to my hotel, so I'm going to go there, I'm going to get decked out and be ready.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Alma.
Thank you.
Well, that was Alma Bjorklund, and we're about to see her in action as she comes forward with a 13-year-old.
Next to go, Alma Bjorklund with the Unex competition yards. Unex Captain Chaos by Conair. The Holsteiner bred, 13 years old. Alma's been jumping some under 25 tour at WEF, the Winter Equestrian Festival in Wellington, Florida. So the Longines first part of the double down. So there's 4 early falls at the Longines fence, and the time taken 76.63 for Alma Bjorklund and Unex Captain Chaos. Chloe Reid back on course this time with Team Honor USA's Adamo by Lupico. Chloe's represented the United States at the Nations Cup finals in Barcelona, Spain. Was third in the Longines Grand Prix of Sweden at Falsterbo last year. And has been the runner-up in the World Cup qualifier here at Live Oak. Show organising committee headed up by her mother, Juliet Weber-Reid, and uncle, Chester Weber. Chloe had a pretty fast 4-faulter earlier on with her first ride in the division. Scored a 68.82. If she could turn in the same time here with a clear, she'd go into second place and be just our second US clear round. That was the fence she had before the Live Oak. I tell you a lie, it was actually this first part of the line of doubles off this turn. Riding Adamo very carefully around that turn, but unfortunately exactly the same thing happens to her, same fence. So Chloe Reid and Adamo safely home. The time's 71.20 and it's 4 faults. So Chloe goes into 10th, 2 inside the top 10 at the moment, 7th and 10th for Chloe's 2 rides, with just about 8 or so competitors still to come forward in this Longines World Ranking class this afternoon at Live Oak. Santiago Lambre for Mexico. Santiago with Dolores. Dolores by the VDL Sir Harley. Santiago represented Mexico at the Sydney Olympics back in 2000. Team silver medalist at one of 3 Pan American Games appearances. Santiago been jumping almost coast to coast in the US over the last 12 months. 2 times a Great Lakes Grand Prix winner last summer. 3rd in the Grand Prix at Hitz Balmoral up in Illinois. Top 10 at the test event Grand Prix at Tryon, North Carolina, and had a win in a 5-star meter 50 class at the 7th week of the Winter Equestrian Festival. Certainly moving. Lauren Huff, our fastest across the ground, 62.89, but it's only going to take faster than 66.53 to go into the lead if he can be clear. Santiago Lambre, so could have taken the lead away from Devin Ryan. The USA still stands supreme here, and it's 4 faults in 64.27 for Santiago Lambre, and that goes into 7th position.
Finished top 6 for the horse in Paris at the end of last year. Devin Ryan and Cooper for the USA.
Devin Ryan back with us. Devin owns and rides Cooper. Devin's our current leader in the clubhouse with his first horse clear in 66.53. Can he make it 2 clears here this afternoon on the opening day of the show? This important class, Longines world ranking points on offer. In a real purple patch of results at the moment, including a runner-up spot at 5-star Grand Prix, Winter Equestrian Festival Week 5. A win at the Gold Cup last September as well on the Longines FEI World Cup jumping circuit. Devin just taking it steadily as he dares, but he takes the inside turn, inside the decoration, back to that. So this is, you know, aiming to be as competitive as he can. Cooper just showing great athleticism through that double. Down and over the last, it is good, and the time is good, 65.76. He overtakes himself for the lead. Devin Ryan holds a 1-2 now in the Longines World Ranking class here. 2 clears for the United States of America amongst our total of 5 clears, and both of them are for this man, Devin Ryan, holding the 1-2 at the moment.
Next to go then, finished second in the Longines FEI World Cup jumping qualifier of Lexington, Kentucky towards the end of last year. It is Lognines for the USA.
Lauren Tisbo with Coriandolo de Rebano. Lauren has 19 points on the league at the moment. It's the runner-up at the National Horse Show. Also picked up points at Bromont. Top 10 in the Week 5 5-star Grand Prix at the Winter Equestrian Festival this spring. It's a big vertical, and it's quite lucky as well for the horse to turn back tight like that. You've really got to have confidence in your horse. Lauren will certainly generate confidence. She's a great rider here on the US circuit. Coriandolo de Rebano. Clear all the way, and look at the time as well, 67.41. It's competitive. It goes into third. The Stars and Stripes leading the way now, holding all of the top 3 spots. Lauren Tisbo clear in 67.41, taking over third place.
Third place with just 6 combinations left to go.
Well, back into the ring, Kristen van der Veen, this time with Bull Run's Jumper 6s. Bull Run's Divine Fortune, the mare by Padanus. Kristen was 4th in the World Cup qualifier at Las Vegas, helping her to a season total of 21 points at the moment. 5th in the Grand Prix in Central Park in New York last year in September. Took a Grand Prix win in Tryon, North Carolina last summer. Kristen also inside that top 10 at the Gold Cup leg in upstate New York in Old Salem Farm of Longines FEI World Cup jumping. Kristen got an 8-fault round earlier on with her first horse. Just hunts a little bit into the first, the Lugano Diamonds, just trying to find the pace they want for this round of jumping over Kelvin Bywater's track. And now she's got the pace. She is having a go at this. Great to see on the opening day of the show, somebody really hungry for those Longines world ranking points. And Kristen is already one of our highest ranked riders at the show, ranked just outside the world's top 50. Oh, lucky there at the Ocala Horse Properties fence. It bounces straight up and back into the cups. And that Live Oak Vertical, it hasn't caused problems for a long time, but it was very influential early in the class, and down it goes for Kristen van der Veen. Ooh. Almost gets into trouble, turning so tight back. What she's after now is the fastest 4-faulter, which would stay inside the top 10. Lauren Huff holds that honour in 8th place in 62.89. This is going to be faster, 61.53. It's the fastest round of the day, Kristen van der Veen and Bull Run's Divine Fortune. So fastest 4-faulter goes into 8th spot.
So if you're interested in that, do stay with us. That will begin shortly after this competition. Back to the sport for now, and it is Jamie Marge and Lou will join us next from USA. Jamie's been jumping very well with this horse in the Longines FEI World Cup jumping North American League, finishing just outside the top 12 in Guadalajara, and then double clear to finish 6th in Ferro.
So Jamie Barge, Jamie with Luebo. Jamie, who's actually lying 3rd on the Western sub-league of Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North America. 46 points, a 3rd place finish at Thunderbird in Canada, 7th at Sacramento and Del Mar, and 6th at Thurman in California. Jamie was a finalist in Omaha last spring and has represented the US on Nations Cup squads at Samarin in Slovakia back in the 2016 season. In the moment, these last few coming forward, they know that you can go faster than Devin Ryan. We've seen both Lauren Huff and Kristen van der Veen go faster than Devin's leading time, but they haven't managed to do so, of course, without knocking the pole. So Devin's our fastest clears, holding the top 2 spots. Fastest 4-faulter is Kristen van der Veen at 61.53, so a clear faster than 65.76 will take over the win. Jamie Barge and Luebo not going to catch the clock, but can they catch a 0 score on day 1 of the show? Just 6 have managed it. Well, now 7. It's clear for Jamie Barge and Luebo, 73.49. Can Jamie pick up a couple more World Cup points this weekend and absolutely nail down the qualification for the World Cup finals in Paris in April this year? Clementine Guttal with Remarkable Farms. Darlan van Groenhoven by Clinton. Clementine has jumped at the Hampton Classic and the American Gold Cup. Jumped extensively in Europe, including a good result in the 2-star Grand Prix at Lyon in France in November at the Akitas show. The 5-star tour at which is part of the Longines World Cup jumping circuit in Europe. And Clementine also a career Grand Prix winner at Verbier in Switzerland. Clear the live oak vertical, and just nudging up the pace on this rollback turn here to the big full meter 50 vertical. There's no way they're going to catch 65 seconds right the way around the track, but they might be hoping to be clear around number 8, Clementine Guttal and Darlan van Groenhoven on the final line. Just has to bottle up the striding there coming into the last double. Does a beautiful round of jumping. 73.76 on the clock. So 7th position just behind Jamie Barge of a moment ago with Luebo. Clementine Guttal and Darlan van Groenhoven are our latest clear round, going into 7th of 8 clears at the moment. Leah De Martini in the ring with Elm Rock LLC's Abenola by numero uno. USA all the way to the end of the class, so that guarantees that we will be hearing the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem of the United States of America, will play for our winner this afternoon. The question remains, which US rider will be that winner? Well, unfortunately, it's not going to be Leah De Martini. A disobedience at the first, a disobedience and disturbance of the fence. So the clock is stopped. There will be 4 penalties for the disobedience. There will also be 6 seconds included into the time as a result of the clock being stopped. You see that the clock has changed from 3.18 seconds elapsed now to an adjusted time of 9.18 seconds. Clear the Lugano Diamonds fence at the second time of asking. A lot of competitors on 4 faults, the fastest of them, super quick rounds from Kristen van der Veen and Lauren Huff, 61.53 and 62.89. So with a circle on course, there's simply no way that Leah De Martini can hope to be amongst the fastest of the 4 faulters. Now it's just about getting a little bit of ring experience for the remainder of the weekend. Yeah, the live oak vertical goes for the first time in a while, and you can see here a lot of our recent competitors have been inside that piece of decoration. Leah, with nothing to gain really, goes out, gives the horse the time to assess that big meter 50 vertical. .11A goes as well, so 12 for jumping, 2 for time for Leah De Martini. So a total of 14 faults on course, time 90.49, that goes into 27th position.
Now, a quick reminder to join us for that Flanders embryo auction. It's the first time we've had one here in the United States, and you can join us very shortly in the VIP tent for that. Although Flanders full auctions are internationally recognised as an elite auction of top-round jumping poles from unique Belgian unique stock. There's 20 embryos up for auction. Come and join us for that. It's just after the competition. For now, we're on to Brian Gutal. Saw her sister Clementine jump a little bit earlier. She comes forward now with a 13-year-old pair. Viva Colombia. Brian Gutal, USA.
So we've already seen Clementine Gutal jump clear. Now it's the turn of Brian Gutal-Marteau with Viva Colombia. Viva Colombia, the mare by Couleur Rubin. Brian, two-time World Cup finalist, second in the Hampton Classic last year, fourth in the Gold Cup. Brian's ridden Nations Cups for the United States, at Falsterbo in Sweden, Jalapa in Mexico. Brian, a former winner, she's on the Roll of Honor at the American Gold Cup in Old Salem, New York. Just taking it pretty steady on the early part of the course. Looking for a neat and I'd say pacey clear, but not necessarily looking to challenge the very fastest times that have been set over this Kelvin Bywater track. Very good riding down that 5-stride distance to the meter 50 vertical for the Live Oak stud. Takes the slide inside there and gets on a half stride to that meter 50 vertical. So that's an unfortunate 4 faults. She was riding for the steady clear, and of course now with 4 faults and a steady time, it's going to be so far down the order really. 4 faults in 76.88. That'll be down outside the top 20. 23rd position for Brian Gutal and Viva Colombia 23rd. 4 faults in 76.88. So at the moment we have 8 clear rounds, 1 more to come who would look to make it 9. Devin Ryan holds a 1-2 for the United States of America. Lauren Tisbo is in 3rd for the US. Jordan Coyle in 4th for Ireland. Victoria Gullikson in 5th for Norway. Jamie Barge in 6th. Clemmy Gutal in 7th. Nikki Galligan for Ireland is in 8th with our slowest clear round, 74.88. And the last to take up the challenge, looking to beat Devin Ryan's time clear in 65.76. Sorry, 65.76. Kat Tyree with Mary Tyree's Bokai by Up to Date. Been over to Europe the last 2 summers to jump up to the 5-star level in Nations Cup squads. Thunderbird in Langley, British Columbia last year, and Wellington, Florida already this spring. Kat was 3rd at the Washington leg of the Longines FEI World Cup jumping last October. This is moving along. Of course, this would be, again, one of Kat's very top horses in her stable. So 15 seconds to get home from here to beat Devin Ryan. I think he's moderately safe in the winner's circle now. Kat Tyree looking to make it 9 clear rounds in all. In fact, there will be 10 clear rounds of jumping. Charlie Jacobs jumped clear but picked up time penalties, so he will end up in 10th, but it is going to be into the top 9 for Kat Tyree and Bokai. And in fact, it is right up there. 4th position in 68.29. So 10 jumping clears. Charlie Jacobs with time faults. Nikki Galligan in 9th. Clem Guttal in 8th. Jamie Barge in 7th. Victoria Gullickson in 6th. Jordan Coyle for Ireland in 5th. Kat Tyree in 4th. Lauren Tisbo 3rd. And Devin Ryan with a 1-2 punch in the Longines World Ranking class this afternoon at the Live Oak International. Well, we're going to have awards coming from the bowl here at Live Oak in just a few moments' time. Do stay with us for that and congratulate Devin Ryan on a super victory today and those all-important Longines World Ranking points. Looking forward to tomorrow. We start with the marathon driving, the intermediate class as part of those US Equestrian Championships. They start out on the marathon course at 8:30, and our FEI divisions at about 20 to 10. This is all local. Eastern Daylight Time here in Ocala, Florida. And it's about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning when we'll see the FEI Horse 4s start out on the marathon. Our jumping class tomorrow is another world ranking class, $35,000 class, and that's here in the big ring at 1:30. Another meter 50 class. Looking to set up our starting field for the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping, the $100,000 class presented by Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club here on Sunday afternoon at 1:30. So congratulations to Devin Ryan. He is the winner today, winner of those Longines World Ranking points and 10 jumping clears. We're set fair for a super weekend of sport here at Live Oak, and don't miss a moment. Follow us through the Live Oak International website and on USEF Network, and of course follow along with start lists and scores on longinetiming.com.
Welcome to your attention towards the archery. Welcome back our top flyers, led by the winner, Devin Ryan and Cooper. While as the remainder of our athletes come forward, we also welcome to the winner's circle Chester Webber and Juliet Webber-Reed, who come forward on behalf of Live Oak International to make our presentation of awards here this afternoon in this $35,000 World Ranking class. Well, now all our athletes are assembled, we continue with our prize-giving ceremony, and as we congratulate our winner, we ask that you please rise and remove cover as we salute Devin Ryan with the playing of the national anthem. Well, once again, congratulations there to our winner, Devin Ryan of the United States of America, who takes the victory here with Cooper. And what a wonderful afternoon he's had, also finishing second with the incredible Eddie Blue. Once again, a big thank you to all our athletes, and of course to Chester Webber and Juliet Webber-Reed, who are out there giving their congratulations to our athletes. With Lauren Tisbo finishing third, out there we have Kat Tyree, who finished in fourth today, Jordan Coyle, who took fifth, with Vicky Gullickson in sixth, Jamie Barge seventh, Clementine Guttal claimed the 8th place, with Nikki Gallagher 9th, Charlie Jacobs in 10th, Kristen Vanderveen in 11th, and Lauren Hoff taking 12th place. That is our top 12 here in the $35,000 world ranking class at Live Oak International 2018. Once again, a massive thank you to Chester Webber and Juliet Webber-Reed, great hosts here at Live Oak International for yet another year. Congratulations to all our athletes as well, and we get ready to send our winner on his victory gala. Not only taking the win today with Cooper, finishing second as well. A great start to his campaign as we say well done to your winner, Devin Ryan and Cooper. Well, an amazing afternoon, a great win. Devin Ryan for the USA with Cooper. Well, definitely a name to look out for as we look ahead to the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping Qualifier that will take place here this Sunday. Make sure you join us throughout the weekend. Some great international sport still to enjoy, both in the world of show jumping and also driving as well. But it's not over here at Live Oak this afternoon. because we do now invite you to join us to the VIP tent for the first Flanders embryo auction in the United States. Flanders Foal Auction is internationally recognised as an elite auction of top-bred jumping foals from unique Belgian breeding stock. There's 20 embryos from top European show jumping bloodlines. They will be sold here this afternoon. Come and join us. It is a unique opportunity to buy an unborn foal with an exclusive pedigree. It's taking place. It's about to start up in the VIP tent. Do join us. The first ever Flanders embryo auction in the United States. But from the whole team here, for the show jumping, it is over for today. Do come back and join us tomorrow and, of course, on Sunday for the Longines